unfortunate. That was unfortunate. Come back, baby. That was unfortunate. That was unfortunate. That was unfortunate. Let's bring him back. Let's bring everybody back in. Let's bring everybody back in. Let's bring. Oh, it's not my little niece. I see my little niece Tiani. Hey, honey. Let's bring everybody back in. Let's bring everybody back in. Later, this is what happens with the man name's voice when you can't be live. But guess what? I need to hit the road and come back and finish the live. I need to go link my guy.
Yo,
dog.
the best advice I would give him is he has to have activities that put him. First off, you have to get used to being around beautiful women. You have to get used to it. Number one. Number two, and so get activities. So like me, I always tell the young guys I used to mentor, do 5Ks and 10Ks because running or do something like volleyball, like an activity where you're around women and you can regularly interact with them, and then just balance.
I don't want to do no damn volleyball over here. They don't play no volleyball.
Volleyball? Are you crazy, man? Especially if you like tall women, bro. It works. I'm telling you.
You know what? When Pearl was like, "Oh, she's here the volleyball coach," I'm like, "What? People make money from that shit?" What the hell?
Yeah.
What you mean?
Yeah.
Go to Ray. He's 16. I think I've got social anxiety. What do I do? Listen, you guys are not helping. You're telling him to do stuff I'm not going to help.
No, it is because social anxiety is only solved by being social with people. That's it? Yes.
I wouldn't know. I've never had it.
You have to be around people, number one. And here's the thing about it. I would go to activities, and because here's the thing, like before, I have a stutter. So if I'm around people enough, they don't even see it anymore. So I get past that hump. And then you just have to you have to be able to talk to these women, but not get put in the friend zone. Okay? So do activities where there's women around. So you can be social, but just make sure that you keep them far enough away where when the time comes and you want to get romantic, you're not stuck in the friend zone. But you got to be around women and activities, and don't just sit at home. And don't think that you're defective. The worst thing you can do with social anxiety is think that there's something wrong with you. That can't be fixed. You can fix it, but you have to be around people. You have to be social with people. That's the key. And get used to being around beautiful women. You have to get used to being around attractive women. Okay.
Yo, my bro, what you saying? What's your advice to this 16-year-old that was to meet women? What's your advice?
Howdy, Shauna. It's good to see you again. Well, first and foremost, hi, Doug.
Good to see you.
Personally, my advice, and you're not gonna really like this, Shauna. But what I will say to him is, focus on your goals, focus on yourself, build yourself. When you do, that's when the ladies are going to be coming to you instead. Do not chase, do not pursue, don't ever do that. That's what I will say. It shouldn't, and while you're building and while you're growing, it should be about you, Love yourself for that. Do not do it for them. It's not about them, it's about you.
Okay, okay, real quick though.
I'm saying this
say
because
one thing real quick. The problem with what you're saying is he's 16 years old. Okay, so his next 2 years are already charted out for him because all he can do is work on school. Understand what I'm saying? So like the only problem with this conversation is there are conversations to have with guys in certain parts of their lives. You don't want to have this focus on yourself, do you type of thing with like he's kind of too young to even comprehend that concept. He needs like immediate fixes because his big thing is school. So what are the small things he can do right now while he's in school? His goal is to graduate high school. What are the small so what you're talking about is good. That's intermediate and long-term goals. But what short-term things can he do while he's working on the big overall thing of school that he can fix? Because this do you stuff, that's an intermediate and long-term thing. With high
Oh
schoolers,
no,
I always try
Doug.
to keep it in a
I
smaller
mean,
context.
I mean, I can totally get where you're coming from, you know, and that is, you know, that's understandable. Of course, you know, if he wants to go and hang out, that's totally fine. But I kind of want to give him that backbone where, you know, he doesn't have to find himself in a place where it's like, oh, you know, Timmy here has got a girl over there, Johnny has got a girl, and I haven't. I want him to have that backbone that, first of all, to have in his mind, there's an abundance of ladies all over the planet. All
Yeah.
right. So when he gets to that level where he's achieved what he wants to have,
Yeah.
then he can have his options spread out. He can
Yeah.
have his boundaries. He can have his preferences.
Yeah.
But now, you know, it's just teenage fantasies. That, you know, I mean, of
Let
course,
me just stop you for 1 second. I just want to read out what someone said. So 16 is so young. The male advantage comes much later. Right now, he just needs to build himself into a man, get physically strong, and start his path towards getting money. Be patient. Best years are ahead. And I fully agree. And that's pretty much what you was just saying there. And I agree with what Doug is saying as well, because at the same time, when you have a young man, it's a lot hard to tell him, you know what, bro, it's gonna get better in 20
At
years, bro. Just wait.
35, right?
oh yeah, and
Yeah,
you know,
and he's trying to get something now.
He needs
So
to go
we're
to the
like,
gym and join jujitsu class.
okay.
yeah, that's a really good point, Doug. And you know, and also what you mentioned about short-term fixes, which you're definitely right about that. And that's to have something that will allow him to obviously to build himself for the long term. So, which is a good thing, you know. And that would be my advice. But do not chase or pursue. Don't ever do that. Don't, because when you do, you're giving them attention. All right, and that is going to feed, you know, into
Okay.
most of them their ego.
I'm gonna drop
You
off.
cut
I
it
have to
off,
go, but
you
I
know.
just want to time in real quick.
So,
Talk to you next time, okay?
no worries,
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Doug.
Yes.
No worries. But what I would say is, don't, you know, don't chase or pursue. That is the one thing that I will say. When you do, you know, you're going to be giving them attention, and that's something that you don't want to do. You don't want to have your time and then your energy wasted. So don't ever do that. Focus on yourself, build yourself, focus on your goals. And I don't mean as in temporarily, like, okay, I've, you know, I've done this thing and that's it. So this how far I'm gonna go. It should be your number one, your priority, above all else, yourself. Don't put a lady above your goals or yourself. That should be number three or number four. That's what I will say.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be my advice.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. I hope
No
he's
worries.
I hope he's watching it. Well, he is watching it. We'll see what he's got to say. Yeah. Thank you, my guy.
No worries, no worries. No, it's cool. Take care, Shana.
Cool. Appreciate it. So I'm with that. I'm with each one teach one. Shout to them man for coming through and sharing their advice. See, every man's got a different way of handling scenarios and situations, but ultimately we all want the same thing. And you see how men get together when we see it when a young man asks, and how we all try to give him game. That's not what women do to other young women. They don't do that. They will tell them the opposite way around. They will. I'm watching this and I read all the messages. Thank you. That's cool, bro. Like women don't do that to other women. They'll say, no, live your best life. No, go out there. Like they no, you get me. Travel the world. Get your back blown out at multiple tropical destinations. That's what when we hear you've been traveling the world, that's all we think of. Girls, just so you know, to us, a world travel girl, a world travel woman just means she'll be getting her back blown out in trouble. Every single location that she's posting a picture of by herself, some guy's been bending her over some balcony with the sun setting, with some sex on the beach and sangrias and that. Listen, we don't want a world travel woman. No, we want you to travel with us. Don't we? But it's true. It's very true. It's very true. But they'll give younger women terrible advice, but that's not what we do over here. What we do with the Magnum's Voice is we give young men good advice and we give young women good advice. That's what we do. We give advice that we wish was given to us, and we give advice that we learn and stuff that we go. Yo, Mr. It's been a minute, my guy. Listen, I'm sorry. I've let you guys down. So we were having 50 people in the chats at some point.